What if the reason your budget keeps failing isn't because you lack discipline? What if you've been trying to solve a modern money problem with tools that were never designed for your life? Because some of you have prayed over your finances. You brought the budget planner or you bought it, you've downloaded the apps, you've created the spreadsheet, and somehow 3 weeks later, you're right back where you started. But what if I told you there's a tool sitting in your hands right now that can help you see your money differently? A tool that can help you identify your spending patterns, build a budget around your actual life, and reveal financial blind spots you may not even know exist. And here's the part that might surprise you. Many Christian women are not using it, not because they don't have access, but because they are wondering, is this something God would approve of? Queen, that is the question we need to answer first, because God has always used tools. The question has never been, can God use this? The question is, will you use this with wisdom? So today, I'm going to show you how to use AI as a budgeting tool without replacing prayer, wisdom, or God's direction. And stay until the end because I'm going to show you how to make AI create a budget that actually fits your money personality instead of another generic plan you abandon in 2 weeks, right? I am going to show you exactly how to do this. Now, if you are just finding this video, you are in part 3 and of a 4-part series called Biblical Finance Money Management God's Way. In part 1, we discovered your money personality: steam, water, ice, or fire. In part 2, we set up your banking structure: how to stop paying fees, build a high yield account, and separate your business money. Today, we're taking everything that you've built and we're going to put a tool in your hands to manage it. So I'm going to make sure the links for part 1 and part 2 are in the description. Are you ready? Let's go. All right. Before we get practical, though, I need to address the question I already know some of you are sitting with. Dr. Shantae, is it okay for a Christian to use AI? Yes, it's artificial intelligence, but we're just going to say the author's intelligence comes into play too. And I understand why that question actually will come up, because I have lived on both sides of this conversation. My background is engineering, so I've always been fascinated by systems, tools, and ways to solve complex problems. I simplify them for you. But I also have a foundation in theology, so I understand the importance of making sure our tools stay under God's authority. And here's what I have learned. God is not intimidated by innovation. No, he is the creator of creativity. The same God who gave Bezalel wisdom and skill to build the tabernacle is the God who gives people wisdom to create technology today. The issue is never the tool. The issue is the heart of the person using the tool. So let me say this. I remember the first time someone handed me a calculator and said, use this to track your tithe. There was a part of me that hesitated, not because it was wrong, but because it was new. And new things, especially in the faith spaces, can feel like they are replacing something sacred. But then I asked myself a better question. Did God not give someone the mind to create this? See, every tool we have, the spreadsheet, the budget app, the calculator, was made by a human brain that God designed. AI is no different. It is a tool, a sophisticated one, I'll give you, but a tool nonetheless. The danger is not using it. The danger is worshiping it. In Proverbs, the 24th chapter, the 3rd and the 4th verse, It says, by wisdom a house is built, and through understanding it is established. Wisdom is still yours. Understanding is still yours. AI just helps you apply them faster. All right. And I do use AI in my business, but I still put in my information first. And I always say, the better information you give it, because you've taken the time, you're going to get great outputs from it. So here is what AI is, and here is what it is not. AI should be used as a thinking partner. You can talk to it like a financial coach that never sleeps, never judges you, and never gets tired of your questions. You can tell it your income, your expenses, and your goals, and it helps you organize, plan, and see patterns that you might have missed. What AI is not is the Holy Spirit. It cannot tell you where God is directing your generosity. It cannot confirm your assignment. It cannot replace the discernment that you have as a faith-filled woman. So here is the boundary I want you to hold. Let AI do the math. You keep the meaning. Let it organize the numbers. You decide the priorities. Let AI show you the patterns. You pray over the decisions. Now that is stewardship with wisdom. And that is exactly what Proverbs, the 24th chapter, is pointing to. Now that we know it is okay to use it, let me show you how. Because here's where most people stop. They open up ChatGPT, they stare at a blank screen, and they close it. Queen, you just need to know what to say. And I'm going to give you the exact words, all right? But let me hold on for a minute. I can imagine you, Queen, trying to build a budget for months, even though I've given you a free spreadsheet to use. And yes, I'll put that link below. I see you trying 3 different apps, right? Watching different videos. You even downloaded my templates. You got my financial wisdom workbook, but nothing stuck. I've done this for others, I promise you. I want you to sit down in front of ChatGPT, and here's what I would also want to tell you. I want you to stop thinking about AI like a search engine. Think about it like a financial planning assistant. You don't walk into a meeting with a financial advisor and say, help me with my money. You bring information, your income, your goals, your obligations, your values. The same thing applies here. AI can organize what you give it, but it cannot steward what you refuse to reveal. So you're going to essentially tell it, I want to create a budget. Tell it what's coming in, tell it what's going out. Tell it what matters to you. Include the spreadsheet that I've given you if you've completed it, but make sure that you tell it that you want to give 10%, that's your tithe. You want to save 10%, paying yourself second, and you want to live on 80%. 15 minutes later, you will also be like my other clients and have a draft budget that is more personalized than anything that you have built in months. And you're bound to say, why didn't someone or anybody tell me this was this simple? Because nobody did until now. But pause right there for a moment. Because I know what somebody is thinking. You're saying, Dr. Shantae, this sounds great for younger women, but I've been managing money for years, or I'm on a fixed income and I just can't understand this. But Queen, this is not about age. This is about alignment. You can be financially experienced and still have blind spots. A GPS is not only for people who don't know how to drive or where they're going. Sometimes the person who knows the road best is the one who benefits the most from seeing the traffic ahead. Honestly, I've learned not to second guess the GPS because sometimes it takes you around an accident or a road that has been blocked that you did not even know. So before I give you the prompt, there's one mistake I see women make with AI. And if you make this mistake, your budget will still feel wrong because AI is powerful, but it is not a mind reader. You cannot give it vague information and expect personalized wisdom. The quality of your output depends on the clarity of your input. So let me show you what I mean. Here's the exact prompt. I'm going to tell it to you, but make sure you check the description below so that you can actually get it. All right? The exact prompt. I want you to open up ChatGPT or any other AI tool that you have access to that you really like, and I want you to type this. I am a Christian woman and I want to build a faith-based budget. My monthly take-home income is, and you're going to insert your number. My fixed expenses are, and you're going to list them. My variable expenses are, and you're going to list them. I tithe 10% first. I want to save 10%. Please, number one, organize my budget into giving, saving, fixed expenses, and variable expenses. Number two, tell me if my spending fits within my 80% lifestyle principle. Number three, identify my biggest financial leak. Number four, recommend 3 practical ways to balance my budget without reducing my tithe or savings. Number five, end with one biblical stewardship principle and one encouraging scripture that applies to my situation. That is it. Start there. Now, again, I'm going to place that in the description below instead of you trying to remember what I just said. Now, if you've completed my free budget worksheet or even just started it, I want you to make sure that you save it as a PDF file and add this one line to that. You're going to say, I'm attaching my current budget as a reference, and then upload the file before you press enter. Now, this is just the first part. The AI will organize what you gave it. It will show you the categories. It will flag where the math doesn't balance, and it will suggest adjustments. And then, this is the important part, you bring it back to prayer. You look at what it showed you and you ask God, where does my generosity go beyond the tithe? Where are you, God, directing me to build? And where am I spending out of emotion instead of intention? See, the AI gives you the picture, but God gives you direction. That is the partnership I want you to build. Now, if this series is reshaping how you think about your finances and you are ready for the full framework, I need you to grab Destined to Prosper and Financial Wisdom for Financial Freedom. Those 2 books are on the screen. Everything we are covering in this series, the personalities, the accounts, the budget structure, it is all inside these books with the depth a YouTube video cannot hold. So the links are in the description, and get it before part 4. You're going to want to have it. Now here's where it all comes together. You've done that first part. Now that we know from part 1 that a one-size budget does not fit a STEAM personality the same way it'll fit an ICE personality, right? And a generic AI prompt is going to give you generic results. Now I gave you a more detailed prompt, but when we tell AI who you are, that is when the budget starts to actually feel like you. And that is when it is going to stick. See, I used to wonder why some women could follow a budget for years and others would fall apart in a week. Same income level, same commitment, same desire to do it right. And then God showed me their personalities. And that's what I just taught this weekend. And that's what you probably have learned also in part one. It became so clear. The women who struggled weren't undisciplined. They didn't mismanage money because they were bad with money. They were using a budget built for someone else's wiring. They were mismanaging money because they weren't using it the way God had wired them. See, a water personality trying to follow an ice budget is like putting racing fuel in a car built for diesel. It is not going to run right. And it is not a character flaw. It is a mismatch, a misalignment. So when you add your personality to your AI prompt, everything changes. The categories change, the guardrails change, the flexibility changes. And suddenly the budget feels like it was made for you because it was. Now, this is where I get really excited because this is where I've seen women finally stop saying, "What's wrong with me?" and start saying, "Oh, this is how God wired me." Now, I said it this weekend at the conference. I said, your biblical financial personality will explain your habits, but it does not determine your future. See, your money personality is not an excuse, it is awareness. You don't use the personality to justify unhealthy patterns, not at all. You use it to build guardrails that help you steward better. Now, here's what I want you to add to your prompt. Or actually, you can do that first one, enter it now, and then add this after. After you give AI the numbers, you're going to add this line. My money personality is, and you're going to fill it in, either steam, water, ice, or fire, according to Dr. Shante Haynes's biblical financial personalities. Based on this personality, what are my biggest budgeting risks and what guardrails should I build in? Now, that one sentence will personalize your entire plan. But now here's what I want you to also include additionally based on your personality. If you are a STEAM personality, you're going to add, my gift is giving, and that line item should reflect my generosity while staying within budget. Allocate more there than other non-essential variable items. Okay? If you are a water personality, you're going to add to that second line. You're going to say, I'm not used to staying within budget, and I enjoy spur of the moment adventures. Make my budget flexible to allow me opportunities for spontaneity. Now, if you're an ice personality, instead you're going to add, I will strictly follow this budget, but I tend to be future focused and not enjoy today. Create a line item that allows me to reward myself, even if it is only, and you're going to insert a specific dollar amount, a month. Now, you know, if I've taught you, I don't care if it's a $5 smoothie or a $6 movie, whatever it is, you're going to allocate that dollar amount. So you're going to fill in that dollar amount per month if you're ice. All right. And then if you are a fire personality, you want to put in at the bottom of my budget, add a line that tells me how close I am to my retirement goal. My goal is to spend, and you're going to insert the annual dollar amount that you want to spend in retirement, whatever it is. You're going to say, my goal is to spend X number of dollars a year in retirement. You're going to enter your age, years old, and expect to live until I'm 90. I've currently saved, you're going to enter a dollar amount for retirement in investments. Then you're going to enter a dollar amount in savings, plus what I've identified in my budget for savings. So now let me back up just a little bit on this one. So you might put in, I've currently saved $1 million for retirement in investments, $100,000 in savings, plus what you've identified in my budget for savings. Okay, now let me continue. You're going to also add, assume my retirement grows at 8% per year in investments and 3% per year for savings. Tell me the total amount I need for retirement and the monthly interest I will receive from these funds. All right. So did you get that? If you're STEAM, you're adding this one section that talks about increasing your giving budget. If you're water, you're adding this one section that includes, hey, give me some flexibility so I can be spontaneous. If you're ice, you're adding this one section that says, hey, I tend to be future focused. So include this X number or this dollar amount per month in there for me to reward myself. If you are fire, you're going to include this section that says, hey, tell me my retirement goal that I should have. This is how much I want to spend. This is how many years I need to actually be able to live on it. And this is what I currently have in investment. This is what I currently have in savings. It's going to grow, but tell me how far I am from that amount. All right. And what I'm going to be bringing home for interest. Get it? Same tool, 4 different conversations, because God did not wire you like everyone else, and your budget should not read like others. Personalize the prompt, personalize the plan, then walk it out with wisdom. So here's your 3-part action step before you close this video. Step 1, open ChatGPT this week. Just open it. Type in the base prompt that I gave you with real numbers. Do not overthink it. Just start. Step 2, add your money personality prompt and watch how the output changes. Step 3, bring it to prayer. Look at what the AI surfaced. Ask God what it means and where He wants you to move. And before you leave, I want you to answer one question in the comments. What is your financial blind spot you want God to reveal? Not what you want to hide, what you want Him to reveal. Because awareness is where transformation begins. And I want you to share this video with one queenpreneur who is working hard, loving God, but still struggling to get her finances organized. She may not need another budget. She may need a better tool. And I want to know what shifted when you finally saw your budget in black and white. Now, next week is part 4. And Queen, this is the one I have been building toward all series. Because here is the truth. A budget is not the destination. A budget is the foundation. The question is not only, can I pay my bills? The bigger kingdom question is, what am I building that will outlive me? Because God never intended money to stop at survival. He intended stewardship to create legacy. You remember Proverbs 13:22? A good man or woman leaves an inheritance for their children's children. And in part 4, we're talking about the difference between managing money and multiplying impact. You don't want to miss this one. We're going to build something that outlasts you, a financial inheritance rooted in faith, intention, and kingdom purpose. Everything we built in parts 1, 2, and 3 leads here. So subscribe and hit the bell. Part 4 is the one that you will definitely want to share. I'm Dr. Shantae Haynes. I'm your destiny designer and also known as your biblical money management expert. I'm here to help you put feet to your faith so that you can walk victoriously. Now, this series, Biblical Finance, Money Management God's Way, was built for you, Queenpreneur. Share this with a sis who has been sleeping on the tools God already put in her hands. And I'll see you in part 4. Go walk in it. Bye for now.